Welcome to Awake and Activate. Today we're going to talk about sacred secrets with sacred geometry and Metatron's cube. What is sacred geometry? Well, the synchronicity of the universe is determined by certain mathematical constants which express themselves in the form of patterns and cycles in nature. The outcome of this process can be seen throughout the natural world, as the following examples demonstrate: the passion flower, the spiral galaxy, the giant causeway in Ireland, and the spiral snail shells. These displays of mathematical and geometric constants are confirmation that certain proportions are woven into the very fabric of nature. Recognizing the significance of this simple fact offers us the means to understand how and why such matters were considered sacred. They and everything around us are the product of a delicate balance between chaos and order. The word geometry can be traced through its component parts. The word geometry comes from the Greek word geos, meaning earth, and metron, meaning to measure, which together literally translate as the measuring of the earth or earthly measurements, an art which was traditionally restricted to the priesthood. Sacred geometry has existed in many forms across the ages. It is often mistakenly said that geometry began with the Greeks, but before them were the Mayans, the Egyptians, Sumerians, Indus Valley, Chinese, Phoenicians, and of course the builders of Western European megaliths, all of whom were clear geometric fingerprints in their greatest constructs. The Greeks may have been the first to have offered geometry to the public at large, but they were by no means the first to realize it. Sacred geometry, the first step. One of the most common shapes in nature is the circle. It is therefore extremely significant to understand that all other geometric shapes can be determined from the circle, with the use of only a compass and a ruler, as the following procedure illustrates. Starting with the Vesica Pisces, from which one is able to produce an equilateral triangle, hexagon, pentagon, square, and so on and so on. The Vesica Pisces is one of the key starting blocks from which sacred geometry was applied to life. A continuation of the geometric Vesica Pisces results in the geometric matrix named the ad triangulum, as used for the design of many of Europe's greatest cathedrals. Here we are looking at the layout of the Glastonbury Abbey. Archangel Metatron's cube in sacred geometry. In sacred geometry, Archangel Metatron, the angel of life, oversees the flow of energy in a mystical cube known as Metatron's cube, which contains all of the geometric shapes of God's creation and represents the patterns that make up everything God has made. These duties tie in with Metatron's work overseeing the tree of life in Kabbalah, where Metatron sends creative energy down from the top of the tree towards all the parts of creation. Here's how you can use Metatron's cube for inspiration and transformation. Metatron's cube and all the shapes in creation. Metatron's cube contains every shape that exists in the universe God has created, and those shapes are the building blocks of all physical matter. They are known as Platonic solids because the philosopher Plato linked it to the spirit world of heaven and the physical world elements of earth. Those three-dimensional shapes appear throughout creation in everything from crystals to human DNA. In her book, Metatron, Invoking the Angel of God's Presence, Rosa van den Edens writes that studying sacred geometry leads one to an understanding of how Creator has structured the physical world around us. With this plane, certain patterns emerge that point to its unity and connection to a divine mind that created it. Timeless geometric codes underlie seemingly desperate things, showing the parallels between patterns in snowflakes, shells, flowers, the cornea of our eyes, the DNA molecule that's the building block of our human life, and the galaxy itself in which the Earth resides. In his book, Beautiful Schools, Ralph Shepard sees the cube as a symbol of how God made shapes fit together, creation, and how he designed people's bodies and souls to fit together. The cube represents the three-dimensionality of space. Within the cube lies the sphere. The cube represents the body of our third-dimensional reality of manifested thought. The sphere within represents the consciousness of the spirit within us, or, as commonly known, our soul. Balancing energy. The cube is an image of God's energy flowing through Metatron to all the many parts of creation. And Metatron works hard to ensure that the energy flows in the proper balance so that all aspects of nature will be in harmony, believers say. Metatron's cube helps us to realize the harmony and balance of nature, writes Van den Eden in Metatron, since it depicts an equilibrium in the 6 directions represented within it. Metatron's cube can be used as a visual focal point to connect with, or it can be used as a concentration tool for meditations that promote peace and balance. Place the image of the cube anywhere you wish to be reminded of the Archangel's loving, balancing presence. Metatron's cube. The Greek origin, meta plus tron, meaning beyond plus matrix. Inside Metatron's cube, you can find every sacred geometrical shape existing in the universe. These three-dimensional shapes appear throughout all creation. They can be found hidden in plain sight. In all that is, from nature to crystals to human DNA, they form the foundation of all physical matter, known as the Platonic solids. The timeless geometric codes underlie all things, displaying the parallels between the seemingly disparate patterns to those who open their eyes to see. Here are some examples of the diversity that you will find within Metatron's cube. Did you ever think that Metatron's cube consisted of each and every shape that created or is in creation all around you? Metatron's cube is a symbol that's meant to represent the journey of energy throughout the universe and of its balance within the universe. It's made up of all the Platonic solids, but it also has 13 circles in it to represent the 13 archangels. All of the circles are connected by straight lines as well, which represents the feminine and masculine as intimately tied together, showing that everything in the universe is attached to everything else. If you tug on one string, then that can reverberate through everything, sort of like the idea of the butterfly effect. The cube is also a representation of how energy flows throughout the universe. While the point of origin may be the tree of life that Metatron guards, the energy moves through him and through the other archangels out to the furthest point of all creation. What can you use Metatron's cube for in your daily life? This complex symbol has lots of uses, and depending on your needs, you can find some aspect of it to fit into your life. One common thing Metatron's cube is used for is as a meditation aid. By following the pattern of energy, starting at the center, it allows you to follow the pattern as a guide, looking through the complexity to find the simple shapes and to see the interplay between them can be very soothing. Additionally, though, it can help you unlock the issues you're dealing with in life, finding the hidden meaning that lies beneath the surface. For others, Metatron's cube operates as kind of a cleansing device. By imagining the symbol not as a stationary thing, but moving in a clockwise direction, it repulses and disperses negative energy while acting as a kind of battery for you to draw energy from. This centrifuge force, even if only in your mind, can allow you to shake off all the negativity of a difficult day and move forward with a positive energy flow into and through you. In addition to being a guardian spirit, Metatron is an angel of creation and inspirational. Whether you're an artist or just someone who enjoys feeling inspired, keeping an image of Metatron's cube in your creative space is a good way to open up to the energy of this archangel and the universal flow he represents. It can be particularly useful for those who need something to hang on the wall above their desk at work, as it will be the first thing you see when glanced up from your work and trying to think of what step to take next. Lastly, Metatron's cube is thought as a powerful symbol of protection against negative energy or even darker influences. Putting it on your doors and windows would keep out unwanted influences while allowing positive energy to flow into your home. Wearing it as jewelry or getting a tattoo is often used as a means of shielding yourself from all the negativity in the wider world and plugging yourself into the flow of the divine light. As you can see now, whether we call it sacred geometry or Metatron's cube, it is found throughout creation. God's fingerprints, His elegant design is in everything from nature to our very own DNA to each cell in our body to every sand on the seashore. Nothing is left out. Sacred geometry is used in all of creation. It's no wonder that when they want to build a building, they want to use those correct dimensions so it will withstand the test of time. As usual, all 3 articles will be listed down in the description box for you. I hope you guys got a lot of information about sacred geometry. Wow. Always share what you know and listen so we can grow. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace.